Hey, how you doing? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to another time here. Welcome to another time to the book club. Thanks for coming. This is what we gotta do. 2 p.m. every Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. West African time, Sunday afternoon. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for being here. We've been reading our book, The Gold Mine Effect. The Gold Mine Effect by Rasmus Ankersen. That's what we did from January, beginning of January here till now. And we're in the last chapter of the book, the eighth chapter. We're trying to finish it. This is our fifth read into the last chapter. We'll see how far we go. We'll see how long it takes for us to finish it. Then we'll do a summary of the whole book. And we're ready to move to our next book. And so far, the next book that we're going to read is The Confidence Game. The Confidence Game by Maria Konnikova, just to learn how scammers work, how artists work, how they think, 419 people, how they think, and how they get us, so that we can have a hedge on them. So that'll be the next book we're gonna be reading when we're done with our present book. You know, it's been a good time reading this book here, the high performance, for me, it's blessed me. It's revolutionized my life, and we're increasing in what we do as a whole in my farm, at work, even we're getting set here to open a new business. So it's been a blessing to me. I hope it's been to you also as we get to do this week in, week out, you know. So it's all about performing at a higher level, and Rasmus has pretty much gone to different high performance hubs, hub for lawn tennis, hub for golf, hub for football, up for athletics, long distance, short distance runs, and trying to learn, from all of this, what is it that makes a difference in those places? And that's what is put together in this book. And we've been learning, as we glean through the book, what it is that they did and how we can apply that in our own individual lives, in our career, our businesses, in everything that we do, pretty much. So that's what we've been gleaning through the whole year. And right now we're in chapter 8, which is the last chapter, and it's just talking about that. The way to excellence, the way to high performance is that you must have a hunger within. You must have a hunger within. And that hunger is really comes from having a why, having a destination, a place called there that your eyes are upon, a reason for you to put in the extra effort, than every other person will, a vision of who you want to be, what you want to attain. Last week, I gave an example of Coco Golf, who won the last Roland Garros competition, which is a French Open. And she gave that the reason what motivated her to get to that high level of performance, was a picture she saw of Iga Swiatek, who won it some 2 years ago, and she saw that moment where the Polish anthem was played and the euphoria all around it. And she saw that same environment, that same euphoria for herself, so that kind of motivated her to another level of performance, and she attained it. So we too can have that, because if you don't have that, the question for you is why put in the extra? Why not just do the average? Do what every other person is doing and be enough. Why should I do more than the average person is doing? You need somebody to motivate you. You need somebody to call you, as it were. You need something in your future that is calling you, that helps you to put in the extra effort. It's a dream, a vision of the place called there that you are pushing towards. If you don't have that, then you'll just be okay living in the moment, okay, but not having something drawing you in your future, drawing you to itself. you know I get to give example every time, I get to do a bit more rigorous exercise than people will typically do. And I do it because it helps me to tone my body. It helps me to be in control of my body. It helps me to keep my numbers where they need to be. I don't have magical powers to keep my numbers where they need to be. So I do the little I can, which is pretty much getting that blood flowing through my body, moving my body, and hopefully it gets my numbers under control. It helps me to be able to sleep. It helps me to be able to sleep. It helps me to refreshing my blood to circulate and rejuvenate itself. It helps me to be able to do this as I do right now in a confident posture, right? I'm owning the stage. I'm owning the moment because my body has been beaten under control. So that's my vision. That's my reason for doing that. And what's your reason is the question. What's your reason for going to work every day? What's your reason for to put in the extra in your workplace? To not just stay and close when every other person is closing, to not just do what you are given to do, but to do the extra. Why? What will make you do the extra? Is there something in your future that is pulling you, that is calling you to say you cannot just be like every other person? You need to differentiate yourself out. You need to have that, otherwise you will only perform at an average level. Right, to go to the next level of performance, you need to have something in your future, and it doesn't have to be something that will come of its own accord. You can synthesize it. For some people, it came as an happenstance. It came at some point in their life. Sometimes they saw it happen, but you can also control it because you can synthesize it. You can think of somebody, that will give you that kind of motivation. Someone that has gone before you, that has done something you would want to do in whatever area you find yourself, whether it be career, personal life. Think of somebody that you can count as a hero, someone that you look up to, someone that you would love to at least live at the level of their performance. Let that person draw you to itself. Let that person be your role model. That person doesn't have to know about it. It's just you putting that picture before you and begin there to live your life, to become. And when you reach that person, find another one, find another one. Don't go to par because you have reached one particular level. You can create more in your future, to keep on pushing you until you leave this scene here. Because if you are not growing, you're dying, right? So we can do that. We can do that. The story is told of a George, who used to be bullied. Each time he's on his way from school, there were three boys that normally would lay him and beat him up. But one summer holiday, he was reading. He was reading some comics, and it came about a comic that was about a superhero, and he saw how that superhero was going against evil and all of that. But he read it and began to internalize what he read. He began to see himself in the image of that superhero. He began to see himself as that superhero, and he internalized it so much that he became one with that superhero. That superhero became his vision of the future of a person he wanted to be. By the power of visualization, he took on the nature, the spirit of that superhero. He saw himself as that, and he began to embody the emotion, the attitude of that hero that he was reading about during the summer break. So much more when he came back and those same bullies tried to waylay him. Rather than running away, he stood his ground and he fought them back. Howbeit he was wounded, but he stood his ground. And that was the last time he was bullied, because he stood his ground. He stood his ground because he saw himself as a giant, as in line with the story he read. He aligned himself with the story. He allowed the giant on the inside of him to awaken. He stopped seeing himself as small. He began to see himself as big. He began to have a different self-image of himself. And that self-image affected his behavior. It affected his attitude. It affected his courage. And he killed, the trail, the years, the time of oppression that had hitherto been waylaying him. Right? Those bullies didn't come back because he stood his ground. What is it that's been bullying you that you need to stand your ground about? Why don't you think about someone that stood their ground and begin to internalize the same emotions, the same attitude, the same personality of that person, and begin to embody that spirit to challenge the thing that challenge you, because you can. because the hero you read about is a person of like passion like you are, or like you are. If that person could do it, you too can do it. You too can do it. If there's anything you want to do, think of someone that's done it before. And if that person can do it, you too can do it. You just need to find out how that person got there. Find out the things you need to change, the things you need to do, and begin to work on it. Start from where you are, begin to work on work on whatsoever it is you need to work on to get to that place that is called there for you, that vision, that why that you're doing it for. And you'll be surprised, what will happen to you, where you will get to as you begin to take one step at a time towards that vision, that why, that purpose, that end that you have set for yourself, right? So thank you. Thanks for coming again. So I'm going to bring up my slide like I typically do, and let's see how far we can go into chapter 8. If we can finish it today, it'd be great. If we can't, we'll continue next week. Next week, I probably won't be here next week. So let me say that ahead. I do have a meeting in the afternoon next week. Next week is I am the chairman, Lagos chapter chairman for my alumni fellowship from the university. So, and we do have a meeting next week. So we won't hold this next week. We'll come back up a week. So see how far we go. Then we'll come back up a week to continue. But let's see how much we can do today and then just enjoy ourselves, right? I'm going to bring up my slide and we're going to just take it. All right. For those of you that can see my slide, on my blog side on YouTube, and I guess later on Facebook, Instagram Live, you don't get the privilege of seeing it, but like I say all the time, you don't need it. Just enjoy hearing me, and you'll get everything we're trying to share. So we got into this slide here. This is where we're taking off from today, and it says the passion it takes to become world class is not something that comes tumbling out of the sky. You have to work for it, right? If you want to be world class, you have to work for the passion that it takes. You have to, it's a decision. It's a decision, it's a doing. Barbara Corcoran would say that if you put your 110% into something, the passion will come. Whatsoever you do, if you put your best into, you put your heart into it, the passion will come. Is that saying that you love what you do? You do what you love, right? If you don't love it at first, but if you put the whole of you into it, over time you'll get to love it, right? Like I say all the time, we have a farm, but I'm not a farmer. I never thought about farming, but I got into farming to help someone. Now I'm 5 years into it. I love it. I'm enjoying it. We're going into different levels of it. So much more. I'm starting another farm in another country, soon here. So that passion does not come of its own. Passion does not just come. A passion is not an happenstance, right? Passion comes from putting your heart into something. When you put your heart into something, the passion would come, right? Passion does not typically just come of its own, right? And you need a passion to put your best in, but you can generate that passion. You can give birth to that passion by putting yourself into something that you believe you need to do, right? Don't wait for the feeling, right? Make a decision. And as you make that decision and put your whole into it, the passion will come, right? Uh, so, but you need that passion to be able to operate at a high level. I've forgotten who said this. It's probably Emerson also. It says that if you don't put your enthusiasm into what you do, you'll be laid off enthusiastically, right? Whatsoever it is that is before you, you need to put in your best, to do it, so that you can get the reward thereof. Again, the law of compensation by Emerson, the corollary of it says that, your compensation, what you get paid, it's dependent on how difficult it is that for you to do the tasks that you are given to do, and how easy it is to replace you, right? The difficulty of it maybe might be general to all, but you can decide how easy or not it is to replace you by differentiating yourself, bubbling out from the crowd. If you're just like every other person, then they can replace you. They'll miss you. But if you put yourself into the work, even though someone else can do the same work that you're doing, they probably can't do it the way that you do it because you have differentiated yourself. You have brought your personality, you have brought your uniqueness to the work, and you will get the reward, right? You will get the reward for that. One, it will be difficult to replace you. Two, when the opening comes and they have to pick person, they'll probably pick you because you have differentiated yourself. You have brought in something into the work that is not common, right? That's why you have to, whatever you do, do with all your heart. Put some passion, put some enthusiasm into it, put some creativity into it. Don't just do it absent-minded, right? Don't just do it without your heart in it. Differentiate it. It's that general saying we'll talk about Angela, what's her name again? Is it Angela? Well, right, the last name is escaping me right now. But she says that, people will remember the way you made them feel, right? The way you made them feel. And the way you make them feel is the person you bring to the work, the person you bring to what you do, right? If you don't like every other person there, they're not going to remember you. But if you bring your person to the work, you bring your uniqueness to the work, that will always be remembered and to be rewarded, whether at the place you are or somewhere else, right? So it's important to bring passion to the work if you want to work at a high performance, high level of performance. You can imagine me doing this session and there's no emotion. I'm just doing it passively. I'm just reading the slide. I mean, I'm going to bore you, no matter how important or beneficial the real content is. If I'm not bringing me to the party, right, it will not flow. You'll be bored. You will not be in a position, to listen to what I'm saying. There'll be no reading for you to to soak yourself into, right? But the person that I bring to it, the passion that I bring to it, the enthusiasm that I bring to it, creates a rhythm, a frequency, that you can hopefully sink into to get the blessing, to get the value, to get the substance of what I'm trying to say, right? So that makes a difference. The second thing we see here is the starting point of all achievement is desire. If you want to achieve something, you must have a desire for it. First of all, providence will always demand that of you. Providence will not give you something you don't desire, right? Because providence is going to test it. Providence does not freely give. Providence will ask the question, how much do you really want it? Do you really want it? Do you appreciate it? Right? And your desire is what's going to push past all the obstacles, all the oppositions, the resistance to flow. Right? Just like we talk about the flow of a river, right? The source of the river is where the treasure is where the goods are. But the source of the river is in the opposite direction to the flow of the river, right? If you go with the flow, you'll go to where all the debts go to. But if you really want the treasure, you have to want it enough to exert the force to go against the flow to get it, right? So there must be a desire if you're going to achieve anything. Yeah, right. I'm here right now doing this. I have a desire for it. If I don't have a desire for it, guess what? There are 1,001 reasons why I shouldn't do it. There are other things I could find myself doing. There are different distractions, calling left to right center, that I could get myself into. But I'm able to shave off every other one because I've set a goal for myself, a desire, a hand for myself. I have set a vision of the place called there that I'm walking towards, and that makes it easy for me to say no to every other thing and yes to this one, no to every other thing and yes to this one, no to every other thing and yes to this one, because I've set a goal for myself, right? And that helps me to go against everything that wants to negate this time together. Right? If you're going to achieve anything, you must have a desire for it. Right? So 4 years ago, I psychologically disconnected from work. Why? Because I'm going to retire here in 2 years' time. Right? So I had to get myself ready for retirement. right? If I'm going to do retirement right, I must have a desire for what I want in retirement. If I don't have a desire for it, I'm just going to get what befalls every other person, which some people go looking for another job whatsoever. But I want to have an exciting time. I want to just flow into retirement. I don't want to feel retirement. I want to just flow without a change in my life, whether it be financially, whether it be psychologically, whether it be physically, whether it be spiritually. I just want my life to continue. I don't want my life to be limited by workplace. So 4 years ago, psychologically, I had to disconnect, right? I had to disconnect so I can work on my retirement plan. And I've been doing a great job at doing that. 4 years passed, 2 more years to go. And I'm happy. I'm pleased with myself that I'm achieving that which I desired. And it only keeps getting better, as we get towards the mark. Right? So if there's anything you want to achieve in life, you must have a desire for it, otherwise it won't come. Because that's what we call the negative downwards pull of life. Right? It's trying to help, it's trying to work against your achievement. If you don't have the desire for what you want, you will not have the motivation, to go against what we call the downward negative pull of life, right? If you want to climb, you must have a desire to somewhere up there, to go against the gravity, the strain, the pain, the difficulty of getting to that height that you have set for yourself. So the starting point of all achievement, whatever achievement it is that you want for your life, whatever achievement you want for 2025, where you want to be by the time 2025 is done, you must have a desire for it. You must have your reason for doing it. You must have your why. You must have your place called there. You must have that thing in your future that is calling you to it. That's important. So keep this constantly in mind, right? Weak desire brings weak results. If your desire is weak, you get weak results. Just as small fire makes a small amount of heat. And this is from Napoleon Hill, right? And we gave at the beginning, as we went through the study, we gave an example between two footballers, Nani and Ronaldo. One achieved notoriety, the other one did not. It was a function of the desire they had. One had a desire just to be a footballer, an average footballer, and that's all he got. One had a desire to achieve notoriety. That's what he got. And he didn't just get it because he had a desire. His desire made him put in the effort required to achieve the desire that he wanted. The other one wanted the average. Therefore, he put in average input, average sacrifice. So you got average results. If you put in the extraordinary, you will get the extraordinary. You are the captain of your soul. You are the master of your destiny. You determine the result that you get out of your life, not life. You desire the result you get out of life. You desire the result you get out of your career, out of your school, out of your business, right? Because what you get is a function of what you put in. It's what you sow that you reap. Your desire will determine the seed that you sow, will determine your watering, it will determine your culturing, it will determine your nurturing, because all of that will determine your harvest. And your harvest is a result. Your harvest is a result, it's a judgment of that which you have done, whether you have done it rightly or not. It will all be proven by your result. Your result is not a scam. Your result is a judgment to tell you whether what you are doing is right or is wrong, right? Let's move on from that. So one way or another, if you are persistent, fortune always smiles on you, says Charlton Heston. So one way or the other, if you're persistent, right, fortune will smile on you. And may I add to that is persistence with sense, because every failure you must learn from it. Because some people are supposedly seemingly persistent, but they don't do it with sense. They don't learn from every failure. For every failure, they have an excuse. Oh, it's because of my people in the village. Oh, it's because I didn't go to school. Oh, it's because I was born in the fishing pot. Oh, it's because people don't like me. Oh, it's because we are here. Oh, it's because it's Nigeria. Oh, it is because it's that. Your persistence is in vain. Persistent means that you are learning from every effort. You are learning from every engagement. And the next engagement, you are doing it based on the strength, the power, the lessons learned of the last one. If you are such a person that you are learning from every effort and you are doing better, learning from every effort, you are doing better, learning from every effort, you are doing better, fortune will meet you. Fortune will meet you. You don't have a choice. Fortune will meet you. You will break through because each time you are hitting that rock, there's a crack taking place on the inside. And that final blow will split the rock. Just be consistent. Do what you can do. Learn from it. Do better. Do, learn, do better. Do, learn, do better. Do, learn, do better. Do, learn, do better. And fortune will meet you. You will achieve that which you seek. Right? So nature yields are most profound secrets to the man who is determined to uncover them. If you are determined to uncover them, you will get it. Even God said that it cannot be taken away from you. You know, that's a place where God confused languages. At Babel, they understood themselves. But when they determined that they are going to build this tower, God said they cannot be stopped for as long as they are determined. For as long as they are one in their determination, they cannot be stopped. That was a power when their mind was in unison on a common purpose. God Almighty said they cannot be stopped. When they had the mastermind alignment, God said they cannot be stopped. So you too, right? If you are determined to concerning a thing that you've set your mind on, you're determined and willing and ready to put in to pay the price it takes to go along that path. You cannot be stopped. You will find it. You will get it, right? The thing about it at the end of the day also is that God wants you to get it. God wants you to prosper. But God has created us as his prototype. And God says that to him that believes, all things are possible. If you believe. And another way, a corollary of it is if you have a determined effort, to the price, to the end, you will get it. You will get it. All things are possible to you, right? You just have to be focused. You have to be aligned. You have to do it according to law and stay at it. You will get it. The rock will break. The door will open, right? That which is yours will be given to you, right? I remember the story when the Israelites went to fight against, I believe it was the Philistines, and at this point in time, they had the Ark of Covenant, and they brought it out and were dancing, oh, and they were dancing, believing in the power of the Ark of the Covenant, even though they were insane. They were not in alignment with God. But the Philistines and every other person did not know that they were not in alignment with God, right? So they were first scared, saying that, the God of the Israelites has come out and all of that stuff, right? And their strength left them. But their elders came to them and said, you people cannot go to war like this in this kind of mind, though. Right? You can't go to war with this kind of mind, though. You have to do your best. Don't go with a defeated mind. Go there and fight. Do your part. If their God win you, fine, but at least die fighting. Don't die as weaklings. Unknown to them, God was not with the Israelites at that time, even though they had the Ark of Covenant, because they were walking in sin. So you never know. You never know what is available to you, right? Until you try. Same thing with those two lepers by the gate, right? They were hungry. There was a siege against the city, and they were hungry, and they said, if we stay here, we'll die. If we go into the camp of these people putting a siege against Israel, maybe they'll kill us, maybe they'll give us food. Let's just try. Guess what? By the time they went there, all those soldiers had fled and they had everything to themselves. They were the ones that discovered that to tell the other people. So you never know. You never know. If you want it, go for it. If you want it, do your best, do your part, press for it. You'll never know. It might just be your lucky day, right? So if you want something, go for it. If you're determined for it, go for it. Do your part, find out about it, press towards it, right? And you'll be surprised that will be yours, right? You know, the biggest percentage of people that fail, 80% or more, is because they don't even try. They give up before they give up and don't show up. They don't even try. So they're already failures. Failures by default, without raising one finger. Without the enemy raising one finger, they're already failures because they don't show up. Right? If there's something that you want, show up. If there's something that you want, show up. The worst they can say is no, right? But no, you learn from that. You find a better way to do it again. Show up. There's something you want in life, show up. Take the first step towards it. Move towards it. You never know. It might just be your lucky day. And if it's not your lucky day, tomorrow might be your lucky day. If it's not your lucky day, the next day, keep on trying. If you want it, if you believe that it's going to give you the joy, the satisfaction, the fulfillment that you want out of life, don't shy away from it. Do your part, moving towards it. And you'll be surprised to be yours. Right? That's important. All right. So don't wait for the thunderbolt of passion to hit you. It's not going to happen on its own. All right. Don't wait for passion to come and eat you. It's not going to happen on its own. Passion comes by you moving towards it. You have to take the first step. Passion catches you while you are on your way, right? Passion will not come to your house and get you off your butt. You have to be busy doing something for passion to catch you. Giving the example of my farm. My passion for the farm came by me doing it. I had zero passion for the farm when we started. I just wanted to help people. I had no clue about farming. I was just a business person. I trained people on systems. I trained people on doing business. So for me, it was just an opportunity to practicalize the things that I teach and know. Not the farming. It was the setting up of the business. It was a setting up of systems which I teach. I said, all right, let's go practicalize it. Right. So we're practicing it. I'm sharpening my skills, my knowledge, of businesses. We've run this for 5 years, we've failed in some things, we've done some things right. We're still here. The future is bright. In the process, I've learned a whole lot about farming. I'm doing things I never dreamt of, never didn't have a clue of, before we started. But guess what? I'm all excited about it. I'm all sharing it everywhere on social media. Everybody likes it. People are impressed. People want to be like me. My friend is also excited. He's gone into crop farming. And it's always saying thank you to me, right? But passion is not going to come meet you and get you off your butt. If there's something you like, get up and start doing something. Passion will catch you along the way, right? So don't wait for thunderbolt or passion to eat you. It's not going to happen on its own. Instead, start to act, engage, and invest yourself in what you do, and the passion will start to flow. When you engage yourself, the passion will start to flow. When you engage yourself, the passion will start to flow. When you engage yourself, you will love what you do. When you engage yourself, you come to love what you do. When you engage yourself, you come to love what you do. Often it's perseverance that fosters passion, not the other way around. It's when you persevere, you gain the passion at doing it. The same thing I do. I post every day on social media, trying to encourage people, put out positive vibes out there, motivate people and all of that. I've been doing it for donkey years now. I only just started by me, first of all, putting quotes on my signature, on my signature on emails, put a quote below my signature. That's how it all started. Today, I post a whole lot of places today. I'm there on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, workplace, and in the office. You know, I have a blogging site. I am now on YouTube, but it all just started by putting a quote on my name tag. You know, you see, I have a passion to do it, right? I love doing it, but it started by me doing it, right? So you too can get passion for anything that you believe in, but you have to take a step out and begin to do it. Right? The passion will come as you get along the way, right? So hard work is certainly a good indicator for motivation, right? Hard work is a good indicator for motivation. You have to do the hard work. You have to do the work, right? Motivation is not a feeling. Motivation is a decision. You decide to do it. All right. Hard work is certainly a good indicator for motivation, but it's not the whole story by all means. Just hard work is not enough, right? Uh, Motivation is not just a question of working harder, right? At an ever increasing rate. It's not about just working harder. It's also about getting a proper balance, deliberately investing time in energy renewal, right? You must not only train like a champ, you must sleep like one. So if you're going to get a high performance, you must balance your energy. You must be energy efficient. You know, some people just work, but you know, you start getting a place of diminishing returns. You know, when your body starts getting tired, you know, more hours does not get more productivity. You get a decline in productivity as your body begins to tire out. So you must have a way of being able to renew yourself, renew your strength. You know, one of it is sleeping, right? The other part is exercising. Another part is eating. Another part is drinking water, right? You must have a healthy balance of all of this, right? Another part also is taking care of your mind, what you ingest, right? If you do all of those other things right, but all you hear about is bad news, it's not going to help you, right? So all the outer part might be okay, but your mind might be messed up, right? You're not going to produce at a high level if you do that. So you have to mind what you read, also spend time to relax your mind, listen to good music. If you're a music person, listen to good word, you know, messages, you know, watch something that's relaxing and funny, helps your mind also. Eat physical food well, drink a lot of water, sleep well, you know, have times for do nothing just to relax your mind, you know, and that helps you, you know. Is that place is that thing we talk about Jack, right? How does it put it down? Says all work and no play. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, right? All play and no work will make Jack hungry also. So it's a healthy balance, right? Find time to fellowship, find time to talk to other people, find time to engage with people. Because if you don't have a good a minimum amount of social engagement, you're gonna be lonely, right? Lonely is not a physical thing, it's a psychological feeling, right? And it would hurt you, it would reduce your creativity, it would reduce your output, right? So you need to find time in your busy schedule to engage other people, to have to have a good social engagement in your life. You don't have to engage with everybody, but there's a minimum engagement that you need to stay alive, to stay productive. Make sure you meet that minimum. You know, so have ways of engaging with people of like minds, right? Whether people from your that do the same thing like you do, uh, from your past, your present, societies, clubs, you know, go to someone's wedding, go to someone's birthday party, you know. I'm not saying you should go there and while away all the time you have, but spend quality time enough to get you what to make you to meet the social need of your life. Because if you don't meet it, you're going to be lonely. If you're lonely, you cannot be productive. You cannot be at your utmost. right? All of those are important. You have to get a healthy balance to feed yourself, to make yourself productive, right? So the number of hours is fixed, but the quantity and quality of energy available to us is not, right? In the same 1 hour, the quantity and quality of energy available is not the same for everybody. It's a function of how you have these different things in the right place, right? When I sleep well, the 1 hour I get has a lot more energy than when I've not slept well. When I've not slept well, I remember the other night I was my friend had given me money and he had given me $8,000 and I was counting it. I counted the first time, I counted 8,600. I counted the second time, I counted 8,500. I said, all right, I'm gonna go sleep. I woke up the next day and I counted it, it was 8,000. But you see, my mind wasn't in a place, it wasn't as productive because I was half asleep. I was half asleep, right? It wasn't the same energy, even though it was the same time. So manage your energy, right? Sleep when you're supposed to sleep. Be awake when you're supposed to be awake, right? And feed yourself, take care of yourself so you can have the optimal energy to do the things that you're supposed to do. So you can have the right result, right? You want to be energy efficient. For every quantum of energy, you want to get the most output out of it, right? You don't want to use too much energy to get small output. You want to use the minimal energy to get the utmost output, right? So that determines also when you do work, right? So typically people would say face the biggest tasks first thing in the morning because then you have your energy at the utmost level, right? Go there, eat the most difficult things first. Then when your energy is going down, you can eat the things that are less challenging. But that's different for different people. Keyword is that you should be energy efficient, right? Use your energy well. When your energy is at utmost, make sure that you kill the lion, right? You can come and kill the goat, the deer when your energy is low. But manage your energy. Manage your energy by the way you use it and by the way you renew it, right? Enough said. So the number of hours is fixed, but the quantity and quality of energy available to us is not. The more responsibility we take for the energy we bring to a task, the more powerful and productive we become. That's important, right? So under Erickson put it this way, says the real constraint on how much you could practice, all right, that's prepare for an event was not the number of hours in the day, but the number of hours in the day you could sustain full concentration. If you couldn't sustain your concentration, you were wasting your time. Just like I said about the other night, I was counting. No matter how much I counted, I was half asleep. I wasn't going to get it right. So it was best for me to just pack it that night, like I told my friend, and go to bed. And I woke up and I was able to do it right. Right. So it's not about the hours you use in the day, it's how productive is the productive hours. When you know your energy is down, just go and sleep, go and rest, go do something else to renew your energy. Go chat, go play tennis, but don't stay there and struggling. You're neither asleep nor productive, right? For me, typically when I struggle with sleep like that, then it becomes a bit difficult for the sleep to come. So I kind of try and go to sleep when my head begins to shake as much as possible. Because sometimes when I struggle with sleep, I find then that I've already driven the sleep away. So I'm neither asleep nor awake, right? So you need to know yourself. Know when to go to bed, when to stay at a task, when you are useful and when you're not useful, just we need to manage our energy if we're going to get the productivity out of it, right? So conservation of energy No, this is a quote by Winston Churchill talking about how he conserves his energy. So he says, never stand up when you can sit down, right? Don't stand up when you can sit down, right? When you can sit down, don't stand up. Why waste the energy if you can sit down? And for as long as that sitting down does not uh, give you, it does not take away your energy, because some, like the sports presenters now stand up to do it. Good, because the fitness act. So they are showing that they are fit themselves. So they're standing up. It's rather don't sit down when you can stand up, because they are also as in standing, they are showing their fitness, and it's also a way of being fit to stand up to present. Here I'm doing this, it's easier and better. I'm staying in front of the screen here. So conservation of energy for me is sitting down instead of standing up. But key word from Winston Churchill, he talking about how he conserve energies. He didn't put in more energy that is required for the task. He managed his energy. That's why he did not. He was able to survive the Second World War. Running through the night and day schedule of commanding a warfare. Right. So he says, never stand up when you can sit down, and never sit down when you can be down, right? When you can go to bed. All right, pretty much we're just talking about energy management, right? So recovery is as important as training. So when you finish training, how you recover is as important as the training, but not recovery in the same sense. Most people understand it, right? So, but it's not recovery in the same sense most people understand it. If your brain is working while you are recovering, it means that you are actually not recovering at all. Quality recovery is training. So it's just saying that when you train, when you practice, uh, which could also be directly for people working, when you've exerted yourself during the day, you need to recover, you need to rejuvenate, right? Not come back home and you're still working, then you go back in the morning. When you get off work, you need to find a way to get your energy back, right? Recover your energy. So I was trying to look for it, but one of the things Winston Churchill also was that you task your brain in a different way, right? You don't come back home and continue doing the same thing you were doing at work. Your brain is not resting. But if you can task your brain in a different way from what you were doing when you were being drained of energy, your brain has a way of recovering itself by changing focus on what it's doing, right? And that's also what is being said here by Moses Keep Tanner, that when you are recovering, don't come recovering and you're still thinking about what it is you were thinking when you were draining energy. Just find a way to relax, find a way to change view, and that's maybe watch TV, listen to the news, go jog, socialize or something, but find a way to recover, and truly recover, when you're off the main task, because that helps you to be energy efficient, right? You're not draining your brain the same way uh, you were when you're on the task. This is a longer one by Winston Churchill. Let's see how we can break it. It says, a man can wear out a particular part of his mind by continually using it and tiring it, just as the same way as he can wear out the elbows of his coat if he continues using it, right? So the tired part of the mind can be rested and strengthened, not merely by rest, but by using other parts, which is what I was trying to explain earlier on. By using other parts of your mind, you can rest the tired part. So when you're all focused on the wall, you can rest that part that's focused on the wall by finding time to think and talk about other things. When you're talking about other things other than the war, that part that has been so overworked talking about war, gets rested. Even though it's the same mind, but it's different faculty of the mind that's be used for the other thing you're talking about. So you should have to find times to disengage. right? You have to find times and opportunity to disengage from different areas of your life, right? You don't bring work home and you work at work, bring it work at home, go to bed, work. You can work, but you need to find different kind of work to do to disengage your mind. Otherwise, your brain, your mind loses efficiency, right? So if all I did at work is work, I come home and maybe listen to the news, watch a movie, talk about my children, talk about other businesses or something, disengage. If you don't disengage from a singular thing, you lose efficiency, right? You tire out that part of your brain, right? You need to find to one of the ways to rest the brain is to disengage, right? And someone said so about everything gets renewed when you unplug, right? Find ways to unplug, disengage from different areas of your life at different times, just to help them go through a time of renewal, a time of recovery, right? So it's only when new cells are called into activity, when new starts become the lords of the ascendant, that relief, repose, refreshment are afforded, right? So you need to disengage from different things in your that's occupying your mind, because when you disengage, then they rest and recover. By the time you come back to it, they're able to give you fresh energy to walk in that particular area, right? So motivation is not just about doing more and pushing harder. Motivation is not just about doing more and pushing harder, right? It's also about building routines for how to manage our energy more efficiently and intelligently, right? It's not about working harder, working longer. It's about building routines to be able to manage our energy in an efficient way, an intelligent way. It's a commitment to a lifestyle where you are not only trained as a champion, but also recover as a champion, right? It's a way to balance the different areas of our life to manage the energy inside it, right? So uh, I get amazed and surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised that I go to work and I can just top level energy, get things done first few hours of the day. Pa 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 pa. Well, that's because I unplugged. I unplugged at the end of the day and put my mind on other things, right? Along with resting, eating well, drinking well, exercising. So next day I'm full of energy and I'm able to eat the goal, you know. So we need to manage the energies in our life. We want to operate at a top level, right? I remember when I first came into the office from working in the field, and they gave me more than I should really be given, and all I was doing is you know, and at the end of the day, I wasn't rewarded for it, but I learned through that. You want to be sincere with yourself, true to yourself, and manage your energy. And when you need help, call for help. That year they expected me to have called for help, but I didn't know. They didn't tell me. So I keep I stretch, got the work done, but wasn't rewarded for it because in my stretching, uh, they wanted a particular attitude that wasn't there, So you learn. Let's go on. Alrighty. Um, Striving to find meaning in life is the most powerful motivation for human beings. Meaning makes a lot of difference. It's the most powerful motivation when you find meaning in life. I'm motivated to do this because I know that it's changing lives. And the first life is changing is my own. I know I see the difference in me. I see the things I'm able to do. I see the grounds I'm able to break. And I've gotten feedback. I get people come and tell me how much it's blessing them. So I found meaning here, so I'm motivated to do it. I don't do it for to check the box. I do it with all my heart because I know it's making a difference. One is changing my life, and I know it's changing other people's life. And it's not an assumption. It's something I know. So I'm motivated to do this because I know it's changing lives. I'm motivated to do the farm because we're doing it to change lives also. And I see the light at the end of a tunnel. So it gives me meaning. It gives me motivation to do it, right? So uh, striving to find meaning in life is the most powerful motivation for human beings, right? So find meaning in whatsoever it is that you're doing or you're set to do, and you find the motivation, the strength, the passion to do it, right? So people are willing to perform the most menial of task, even for low pay, as long as they consider the work to be meaningful or are recognized for their contribution, right? Yeah, pay is good. Let's not take that away. But people leave jobs not necessarily because of the pay. It's because of the satisfaction that they find in it, right? The sense of being seen, being known, being understood, being heard, you know, carries more weight than the money. The money is good, but the money won't give you the psychological, metaphysical, fulfillment, that you could get, that you need to feed your person, So obviously the money is good, you want the money, but what keeps you alive, motivated, and pushing to the next level or working at a high performance, is the meaning that you find in what you do, right? So doing meaningful work is rewarding in itself. When you do meaningful work, it's rewarding in itself. So I enjoy what I do. Everything that I do, I enjoy it. At this stage of my life, I don't do anything I don't enjoy or I do anything I don't want to do. So I do, and that's why I say for a long while I work for free because I love the things I do. I love the things I do. I do the things I love. I love my job as an engineer. Uh, I love my job as a pastor. I love my job as a teacher. I love my job as a trainer. I love my job here, going through book teaching. Uh, I love my job as a farmer. I love my job as a businessman and investor. So I'm motivated to do everyone. I was talking to one of my bros yesterday, and I was just wondering, I hope he's not disturbing you, but I do a lot. I've been adding more to it. Setting up a business here, soon here in another country, right? I enjoy doing it. I do the things I love. I love the things I do. If you can find the things you love, or you fall in love with the things you do, you'll be able to do more, the child's play. So doing meaningful work is rewarding in itself, and we're willing to do more work for less, right? You're willing to do more work for less pay when we feel our work has some sort of purpose, no matter how small it is, no matter how small the work, if you can find purpose in it, you tend to want to do more, right? So hard work without meaning is a prison. If you're doing hard work and there's no meaning to it, you feel like you're in a prison. But if you're doing hard work and there's meaning, you feel like you're in heaven. That's my experience, right? The key to lasting high performance in any field is to find a compelling mission. Find a compelling mission, one for which you are willing to suffer a lot of lactic acid. Like I say, that's what we did for our farm. We had to find a compelling mission. Our compelling mission is changing lives. That's why I'm motivated to do it. I don't mind the hard work because it's all to the end of changing lives. Right? We're setting up another company. That's the same tag we're giving to it. changing lives. So I'm able to then put in my whole heart to it. People call it hard work. I call it nothing. I'm enjoying myself, right? It's because I find that meaning. I find a compelling meaning in it. So if you want to do something that you'll give your whole self to it, find a compelling meaning to it. It doesn't have to be there in itself. You can synthesize one that will help you get motivated, right? For me, I did it for a farm. We didn't have to farm to change lives, but I said that will help me such that the money is not the reason for my doing it. I needed a reason for doing what we are doing out there other than money, right? It had to be something bigger than me. So that's how I synthesized that mission is to change lives, starting with our own lives, obviously, the lives of the people that come to work for us, the life of our host community, and the greater public, right? But it's changing lives. And that's what I'm able to do with whole heart, right? It's not hard work for me. It's just enjoyment because I find meaning in it, right? Why is the most powerful psychological question to boost motivation? Why? Why do we do it? Why are we farming? Why are we setting up a company in Botswana? Right? Why do I do what I'm doing here? Change lives. Change lives. Change lives. That's my compelling meaning. Right? Much more important than what? Right? The why is more important than what? Any individual or organization must ask themselves why they do what they do and what would happen if they didn't. I do it to change lives. What will happen if I didn't? The lives will not be changed, at least not by me, not by the dimension that God has put in my life. Right? It will be from other people's dimension, but not mine. They will miss the dimension God has through me. Right? That's why I do it. That's why I enjoy doing it. Right? And last slide here, we'll finish today, is the form of motivation that brings a person or an organization to one goal will not necessarily bring them to the nest, to their nest. Often motivation has to be reignited. Visions must be renewed and meaning deepened in order to maintain motivation. I said that earlier on. As you look for role models, when you attain what it is that you're a role model in one person, that should not be the end of your life. Find another role model to take you to the next destination. Another one, another one, another one. Right? If we ever get to the end of our changing lives, which will never, then we'll find something else that will keep us being motivated, being being pushed. We'll find another why. We have fulfilled one why. We have find another why. Otherwise, we'll start retrogressing because there's nothing to motivate us. There's no dare to seek for. But there has to always be a dare to seek for. So that then we have a reason to put in the energy, a reason to learn, a reason to grow, to attain. Right? So that's the end of the book. Again, chapter 8 here talks about who wants it most. You need to want it. You need to have a hunger. You need to have a desire. Otherwise you will not work at a top level performance. So I hope it's blessed you. Next, when I come back up a week, we'll try and do a summary of the whole book. Then we're done with that. We'll go on to our new book. All right. Thanks for coming along. God bless you. Have a great week ahead. Shalom. Bye-bye.